We're diving into one of the biggest mysteries in coin collecting, the legendary 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter that could be worth up to $2.8 million. That's right, a simple quarter from your pocket change could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, a 1965 quarter? I have a bunch of those lying around. Well, you might, but do you have the right one? There's a special error coin floating around out there, and if you find it, you're in for the payday of a lifetime. So, grab your magnifying glasses, dust off those old jars of change, and let's find out if you've been sitting on a fortune all these years. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, a guy just like you and me, an average Joe, was sorting through some old change he had saved in a coffee can. He had no idea what he was looking for, just checking for silver coins like many collectors do. But then, he came across a 1965 quarter that felt different. It was heavier than usual and had a strange luster. Curious, he took it to a coin dealer, who immediately turned pale. After some tests, they realized he had one of the ultra-rare 1965 quarters struck on a 90% silver planchet. That coin later sold at auction for over $1 million. Now, what makes this quarter so special? Let's break it down. In 1965, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from silver coins to clad coins due to rising silver prices. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver, but after that, they switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. However, a few 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. This mistake created one of the rarest and most valuable error coins in U.S. history. So how do you know if you have one? A regular 1965 clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. A simple digital scale can tell you right away if you're in the money. Look at the side of the coin. If you see a copper stripe, it's a regular clad quarter. But if the edge is solid silver with no copper line, you might have the rare one. Silver quarters make a distinct high-pitched ringing sound when dropped on a hard surface, unlike the dull clunk of a clad quarter. Silver is not magnetic, so if your quarter sticks to a magnet, it's definitely not silver. If you think you found one, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate it. Now, let's talk money. The highest auction record for a 1965 silver quarter stands at $2.8 million. That's more than some luxury mansions or a fleet of sports cars. Even if yours isn't in perfect condition, these coins still fetch tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. A circulated one could sell for $10,000 to $50,000, while a high-grade specimen in MS-65 or better could easily reach 6 or 7 figures. Even if you don't find the silver version, there are other valuable 1965 quarters to look out for. Some 1965 quarters have a noticeable doubling on the lettering or date. These can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars. If the design is misaligned, the value jumps significantly, sometimes reaching $1,000 or more. A perfectly struck 1965 quarter with full details on the drummer boy's drum lines can command a premium. If you think you've got a rare 1965 quarter, don't rush to sell it at a pawn shop. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service. Consider auctioning it through a reputable coin auction house. Don't clean it. Cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value. So, there you have it, folks. That little quarter in your pocket might just be your ticket to millions of dollars. Go check your change jars, your old drawers, and maybe even that coin collection you forgot about. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss more coin treasure hunting tips. Who knows? Your next find could be even bigger. Where we talk about coins that could change your life. Today, we've got a wild one. The 1995 P. Washington quarter. Now, you might be thinking, wait, that's just pocket change. But hold on to your hats because one of these bad boys is worth a jaw-dropping $2.9 million. Yeah, you heard that right. This is not some urban legend, this is real. And guess what? You might have one sitting in a jar, under your couch, or even in your pocket right now. So, let's dive in and find out what makes this quarter so special, how to spot one, and what other 1995 quarters might be worth serious money. Before we get into the details, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, just browsing through some random coin bins. You know, the ones where everything's a quarter, and the guy selling them has no idea what he's got? Well, I found a 1995 quarter that looked different. Something about it just caught my eye. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I held on to it. Fast forward to today, and I still wonder, did I pass up $1 million coin without knowing? That's why I always say check your change. So, what makes this specific 1995 quarter worth more than a luxury home? It comes down to rare errors and unique features. This means the coin was struck twice by the die, creating a noticeable doubling effect, especially in the words "liberty" and "in God we trust." Some of these quarters were struck incorrectly, leaving parts of the design missing. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. On the back of the coin, if the drummer's drum has crisp, clear lines, that's a sign of a high-quality strike. Some were accidentally struck on a different metal, making them much rarer. Only one known example of the $2.9 million 1995 quarter has been found. But experts believe there could be more out there. So, how do you know if your 1995 quarter is worth millions? The mint mark is located just right of Washington's ponytail. If it's missing, that could be a rare error. Look for doubling. Use a magnifying glass and check for doubled letters in "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." A normal 1995 quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it might have been struck on the wrong metal. Look at the drummer boy's drum. If the lines are faint or missing, it's a normal strike. But if they're bold and clear, it could be a rare high-quality strike. Even if you don't have the $2.9 million quarter, there are plenty of other 1995 quarters worth money. Some double die errors still sell for $100 to $500. These were made for collectors and can be worth $50 to $200, depending on the condition. If your quarter is in nearly perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, it could be worth $1,000 or more. So, you think you found a rare one? Now what? These companies will certify your coin and determine its value. Take your quarter to a professional numismatist for an expert opinion. Websites like eBay or heritage auctions are great places to sell rare coins. A quick way to get an appraisal and possibly sell your coin for a fair price. Alright, so let's recap. The 1995 Washington quarter could be worth a life-changing $2.9 million if you find one with the right rare errors. Even if you don't have the jackpot coin, other 1995 quarters can still bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, check your coin jars, search your pockets, and keep an eye out. Who knows? You might be sitting on a hidden fortune. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips. And let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a simple 1998 Washington quarter, and realizing it's worth a life-changing $3 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one of the rarest and most valuable modern quarters out there. I'll tell you exactly what makes this coin so special, how to identify it, and why collectors are willing to pay millions for the right one. Plus, I'll share a story about a guy who almost spent a rare quarter like this at a gas station, before realizing what he had. So stick with me, and let's find out if you have a fortune hiding in your change. Alright, before we get into the big money details, let's talk about the basics of the 1998 Washington quarter. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which you can tell by the small P mint mark on the obverse, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Now, in a normal world, this coin is just worth 25 cents. Millions were made, and most of them are still out there circulating today. But here's the kicker, there's a super rare variety that has collectors absolutely losing their minds. So, why would a 1998 p quarter be worth more than a mansion? It all comes down to a rare mint error and an incredibly low population of known examples. One of the key factors is a dramatic double die obverse. That means the design was accidentally stamped twice, causing noticeable doubling on Washington's face, the lettering, and the date. This type of doubling is super rare for this year, but that's not all. The most valuable versions of this quarter were also struck on experimental planchets, different metal compositions that were never meant to be released into circulation. Some were struck on transitional metal from the Sacagawea dollar, giving them a distinct golden tint. Others were struck on planchets intended for foreign coins, creating a totally unique look. These errors were never supposed to exist. But, as we know, the US Mint isn't perfect, and a handful of these coins made their way into the wild, and collectors? They're willing to pay millions to own a piece of history. How do you know if you have one of these $1,000,000 quarters? First, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and look closely at the obverse. That's the front of the coin. If you see strong doubling on Washington's eye, nose, or the words, Liberty, and, In God We Trust, you might have a valuable double die variety. Next, check the coin's color and weight. A normal 1998 p quarter should weigh 5.67 grams and have a standard copper-nickel appearance. But if your quarter looks off, maybe it has a golden tone or feels lighter or heavier than usual, you might be holding one of the rare experimental planchet errors. And lastly, always inspect the edges. If the coin has an unusual smooth edge or a different mix of metals visible on the rim, that's another sign it could be special. If you see anything strange, do not clean the coin. That could ruin its value. Instead, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. Now, let me tell you a story about a guy named Dave, just your average coin collector, nothing fancy. Dave was at a gas station, paying for a soda and some snacks. He was about to hand over some change when something told him to take a second look at a shiny 1998 p quarter in his hand. Instead of spending it, he threw it under a microscope when he got home. Bam! A double die obverse. His quarter was one of the rarest known, struck on an experimental planchet. A few months later, he sold it at auction for, get this, over $3 million. A coin he almost spent on a bottle of soda turned into a retirement fund overnight. Now, even if your 1998 p quarter isn't the rare $3 million version, don't lose hope. There are still plenty of other valuable varieties to look for. A high-grade MS-67 or higher 1998 p quarter can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars at auction. Meaning it has an unusually sharp, mirrored finish that could add even more value. Even standard quarters with strong die breaks, off-center strikes, or other minor errors can still be worth $50 to $500 each. Because you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Alright, my fellow coin hunters, now that you know what to look for, it's time to check your pockets, piggy banks, and old coin jars. If you find a 1998 p quarter with doubling, weird coloring, or a strange weight, get it checked out. You could be sitting on a small fortune, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. Imagine this: you reach into your pocket, pull out a regular looking quarter, and boom! It's worth over $3 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, today we're talking about a 1990 p Washington quarter that sold for a jaw-dropping $3.1 million. That's right. A single quarter, the kind you probably have lying around your house right now, made someone a millionaire overnight. So, what makes this coin so valuable? Could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Stay with me, because we're breaking it all down, the key details, what to look for, and how to check your own change for hidden treasure. And hey, before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because I've got plenty more coin collecting secrets that could make you some serious cash. First off, let's talk about what makes the 1990 p quarter special. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark just below the date. Now, millions of these were made, over 600 million, to be exact. So, What separates a regular 1990p quarter from one worth millions? The specific quarter that sold for $3.1 million had something extraordinary, an extremely rare minting mistake. The U.S. Mint produces coins with very strict standards, but every now and then, something slips through the cracks. And in this case, it was a mistake so rare that it sent collectors into a bidding frenzy. So what exactly was wrong with this coin? It was struck on a silver planchet instead of a standard copper-nickel one. That means it wasn't supposed to exist. Back in 1990, quarters were supposed to be made of a copper core with a nickel coating. But somehow, a leftover silver planchet from decades earlier ended up in the press. This is huge because the U.S. Mint officially stopped making silver quarters in 1964. So for a 1990 quarter to be struck in silver? That's unheard of. It's like finding a modern penny made out of gold. It just shouldn't happen. Alright, so now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have a silver 1990p quarter? Good question. Regular 1990p quarters have a copper-colored edge because of the metal composition. But if your quarter is all silver with no copper stripe, you might have hit the jackpot. A normal clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. But a silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. So if you have a precision scale, weigh it. Silver coins make a distinct, high-pitched ringing sound when dropped on a hard surface, unlike the dull clink of regular quarters. If your coin looks suspiciously different, take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if you don't have the rare silver quarter, don't give up just yet. There are still other 1990p quarters that can be worth hundreds or even thousands due to rare errors. If Washington's face or the lettering looks doubled, you might have a valuable error coin. If the design is noticeably off-center, collectors will pay big bucks for it. Some quarters were accidentally struck without their nickel layer, leaving a copper-colored surface. These can sell for hundreds of dollars. Alright, let's say you find a rare 1990p quarter. What's next? How do you turn that lucky find into cold, hard cash? Send your coin to PCGS or NGC for official grading. A certified grade can skyrocket its value. Sites like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections are great places to sell high-value coins. A professional numismatist can give you an accurate estimate of what your coin is worth. Whatever you do, do not clean your coin. Cleaning can actually reduce its value significantly. So there you have it. A 1990p Washington quarter that's worth a mind-blowing $3.1 million, all because of a rare minting error. If you ever needed a reason to start checking your pocket change, this is it. The next time you grab a handful of quarters for laundry or a vending machine, you might be holding a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more hidden coin treasures. Let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare or valuable coin in your change? I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1966 Washington quarter. You might be surprised to learn that while its face value is just 25 cents, certain versions of this coin have fetched astonishing prices at auctions. Could one of these treasures be hiding in your pocket change? Let's explore. In 1966, the United States Mint produced the Washington quarter without any mint marks. This was during a transitional period, and the Mint temporarily omitted mint marks from 1965 to 1967 to discourage coin hoarding amidst a change from silver to a copper-nickel clad composition. Consequently, all quarters from 1966 lack a mint mark, regardless of their minting location. The 1966 quarter marked the second year of the new clad composition, moving away from the 90% silver content of earlier years. 75% copper, 25% nickel clad over a pure copper core, features a portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Depicts an eagle with outstretched wings, also by John Flanagan. The Philadelphia Mint produced a staggering 821,101,500 quarters in 1966. Given this high mintage, these coins are quite common in circulated conditions. However, their value increases significantly in uncirculated or higher grade conditions. Let's break down the current market values based on the coin's condition and type. These are typically worth their face value, around 25 cents, unless they exhibit unique errors or exceptional qualities. The highest recorded sale for a regular strike 1966 quarter was an MS68 Plus graded coin, which sold for $21,000 in 2023. In 1966, the mint produced special mint sets instead of traditional proof sets. These sets included coins with a higher quality finish than regular strikes but were not as meticulously produced as proofs. Coins with a cameo appearance, a frosted design contrasting against a mirrored background, can fetch between $15 and $600, depending on the grade. These coins, with a more pronounced cameo effect, are highly sought after. Values range from $1,500 to $3,738, with the highest recorded sale being $3,738 for an SP67 Deep Cameo coin in 2012. Certain errors and varieties can significantly increase a coin's value. This variety exhibits noticeable doubling on the reverse side. Values range from $144 in circulated conditions to over $900 in mint state. Coins struck off-center can be worth between $384 and $1,410, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. Several factors can influence the value of a 1966 quarter. Coins in higher grades, MS67 and above, command premium prices due to their scarcity. Coins with attractive toning or a strong strike are more desirable to collectors. Errors and varieties. As mentioned, certain mint errors or unique varieties can significantly boost a coin's value. While the 1966 Washington quarter is common in everyday circulation, specific versions, especially those in pristine condition or with unique characteristics, can be highly valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual enthusiast, it's always worth examining your change. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem. Thank you for joining us on this numismatic journey. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow coin enthusiasts, and subscribe for more insights into the fascinating world of coin collecting. We're diving into a coin that could change your life, the 1981 P. Washington quarter. Yeah, you heard me right. This little 25-cent piece could be worth a staggering $2.2 million. Imagine buying a soda with a quarter, only to find out later you basically gave away a mansion. I know what you're thinking. Come on, a quarter worth that much? No way. But trust me, this is real, and I'm about to break down everything you need to know so you don't accidentally spend a fortune on a pack of gum. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot rare varieties, and how to cash in big time. Let's get started. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1981 P. Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the little P mint mark on the obverse right next to Washington's ponytail. These quarters were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, meaning they don't contain silver. Now, here's where things get interesting. The U.S. Mint cranked out over 601 million of these quarters in 1981. So, they're not exactly rare, or are they? Because among those millions, a few extraordinary errors and varieties have surfaced, and those are the coins that collectors are paying insane money for. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. Why is one of these quarters worth $2.20 million? It all comes down to a super rare mint error. This specific 1981 P quarter has what's called a double struck, off-center with a deep die cap. The coin was hit twice by the minting press, creating overlapping images. The second strike landed way off from where it should have, making the design look distorted. The coin got stuck to the die, forming a bowl-like shape over time as more coins were struck on top of it. This combination is almost unheard of, and when one surfaced at auction, collectors went absolutely nuts. It sold for $2.2 million, setting a record for modern quarters. Now, before you run to check your couch cushions, let's talk about some other valuable 1981 P quarters. Even if yours isn't the ultra-rare $2.2 million version, you might still have something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you find a 1981 P quarter in nearly perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, it could be worth $1,000 to $5,000. These coins are pristine with no scratches, dings, or major wear. Most circulated quarters barely make it past MS63, so finding one in top condition is a big deal. There are reports of 1981 P quarters with double die errors, where parts of the design look double due to a misalignment during striking. These can sell for $500 to $10,000, depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Some 1981 P quarters were struck off-center but not as extreme as the $2.2 million one. If you have a quarter with about 10 to 50% off-center design, it could bring $100 to $1,500. A quarter missing its outer nickel layer, exposing the brownish copper core, is another valuable error. These can sell for $250 to $2,000 depending on condition. If the coin was struck without the retaining collar, it can appear larger and have a smooth, stretched-out rim. Broad strike errors on 1981 P quarters can sell for $150 to $1,000. Now, let's talk strategy. If you want to find one of these rare quarters, here's what you need to do: check your pocket change. Most people don't even bother looking at their quarters, which means rare ones can slip through unnoticed. Search through coin rolls. You can buy rolls of quarters from the bank and go through them to hunt for errors. It's cheap, fun, and you never know what you'll find. Visit flea markets and garage sales. Sometimes, people sell jars of old coins without realizing their value. Use a magnifying glass. Errors can be small, so having a good magnifier helps spot those tiny but valuable details. Look for high-grade coins. If you find an uncirculated 1981 P quarter with sharp details and no damage, it's worth getting graded. So, let's say you find one of these valuable quarters. What next? Get it authenticated. If you suspect your coin is rare, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Auction it. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers are the best places to get top dollar for rare coins, listed online. Websites like eBay and Great Collections allow you to sell directly to collectors, but make sure you have good photos and a proper certification. Contact a local coin dealer. If you need quick cash, a reputable dealer can make you an offer, though it might not be as high as an auction price. Alright guys, we just covered everything you need to know about the 1981 P Washington quarter and how one of these could be worth a life-changing $2.2 million. Even if you don't find that exact one, there are still plenty of valuable errors and high-grade coins out there that could bring in serious cash. Go check your change. Dig through your car, check that old coin jar, or even grab some rolls from the bank. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more coin hunting tips. And if you've ever found a rare coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, guys, listen up. Imagine you're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter to pay for parking, and you find something that could change your life forever. I mean, we're talking about a simple 1993 P Washington quarter, just a regular old coin, right? Wrong. Because one of these bad boys recently made headlines for being worth a staggering $2.3 million. That's right. A quarter. 25 cents. Worth more than some luxury homes. Now, before you rush off to check every quarter in your house, let me walk you through exactly why this coin is so valuable, how you can tell if you have one, and what other 1993 P quarters might still be worth some serious cash. You don't want to miss this one, so stick around till the end, because you might just be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. So, first off, what makes the 1993 P Washington quarter so special? After all, millions of these were minted, so why would one sell for millions? The key here is rarity, errors, and demand from collectors. The coin that went for $2.3 million had a major minting error that made it one of a kind. While the exact details haven't been fully disclosed by the buyer, experts believe it was due to a dramatic misprint, possibly a double strike, off-center strike, or even a wrong planchet error. Now, why would someone pay millions for a coin with a mistake? Because errors increase rarity, and collectors will pay insane money for one-of-a-kind coins. Think of it like baseball cards. If there's a rare misprint, collectors go nuts for it. Same thing with coins. Now, let's say you don't have that exact $1 million mistake. Are there still valuable 1993 P quarters out there? Absolutely. If your 1993 P quarter has a major die crack, off-center strike, or double die, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A 1993 P quarter in pristine condition, graded MS 67 or higher, has sold for over $1,500 at auctions. That's a huge jump from 25 cents. If the drum on the eagle's back is fully detailed with no wear, that's a good sign your quarter is high quality and could be valuable. How to spot a valuable 1993 P quarter? Alright, so now that we know what to look for, let's talk about how to check your quarters. Look for the P mint mark just below the date on the front of the coin. This tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Is the design off-center? Are there double images on the numbers or letters? Grab a magnifying glass and inspect the details, especially Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. The more detail, the better the grade. If your quarter looks brand new, with no scratches or wear, it might be worth sending to PCGS or NGC for grading. Real-life examples of big money in 1993 P quarters. Still skeptical? Let's talk about some actual sales of valuable 1993 P quarters. A high-grade MS 67 example sold for $1,920 at a heritage auction. A quarter with a major double die error was valued at over $5,000. Several off-center strike 1993 P quarters have fetched between $300 to $800 depending on how extreme the misprint is. There are many valuable quarters still out there, waiting to be found. Where to sell your valuable quarter? Let's say you find a 1993 P quarter that looks promising. Where do you cash in? Places like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers handle high-value coins and can get you top dollar. Sites like eBay and Great Collections can be good options, but make sure you get your coin professionally graded first. A local coin shop might give you a quick sale, but make sure they offer fair market value. If you have a 1993 P Washington quarter, check it right now. Because if you spot a major minting error, high grade, or rare variety, you could be holding a coin worth thousands, or even millions. Valuable coins are still out there in circulation. People spend rare coins without knowing, so always check your change. You never know when you'll hit the jackpot. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more money-making coin tips, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare quarter. Who knows, you might just have the next $1 million coin sitting in your pocket. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1965 Washington quarter. This coin, often overlooked in our pockets and change jars, holds a rich history and, in some rare cases, significant value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about that old quarter you found, this journey will enlighten you about the nuances that can make a 1965 quarter worth more than its face value. To truly appreciate the 1965 quarter, we must first understand the monumental shift that occurred during this period. Prior to 1965, U.S. quarters were composed of 90% silver. However, due to rising silver prices and a national coin shortage, the U.S. Mint made a pivotal decision. In 1965, they transitioned to a copper-nickel clad composition, marking the end of silver quarters for general circulation. This change was significant, as it not only affected the intrinsic value of the coins but also their appearance and weight. Another notable aspect of the 1965 quarter is the absence of mint marks. Typically, coins bear a mint mark indicating their place of production, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. However, in 1965, to discourage hoarding during the transition from silver to clad coins, the U.S. Mint decided to omit mint marks on quarters. This means all 1965 quarters, regardless of their minting location, lack this identifying feature, making no mint mark standard for this year. While the majority of 1965 quarters are clad, there exists a rare and valuable subset known as transitional errors. These are 1965 quarters mistakenly struck on 90% silver planchets intended for the previous year's coins. Identifying these errors can be rewarding, as they are highly sought after by collectors. A key indicator is the coin's edge. Silver quarters lack the distinctive copper stripe seen in clad coins. Additionally, silver quarters weigh slightly more, approximately 6.25 grams, compared to 5.67 grams for clad quarters. These silver errors have fetched impressive sums at auctions, with some selling for thousands of dollars. Collectionsdemandas.com. Beyond transitional errors, other minting mistakes can elevate the value of a 1965 quarter. Double die errors, where the coin's design elements appear double due to a misaligned strike, are particularly valuable. Off-center strikes, where the coin's design is not properly centered, also attract collector interest. The value of these error coins varies based on the error's prominence and the coin's overall condition, with some fetching hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coin ID scanner. As with all collectibles, the condition of a coin significantly influences its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to perfect uncirculated, MS70. For 1965 quarters, those in mint state, MS, condition, especially MS65 and above, are rare and command higher prices. For instance, a 1965 quarter graded MS67 has been known to sell for over $2,800. In 1965, the U.S. Mint introduced special mint sets, SMS, in lieu of traditional proof sets. These sets featured coins with a satin-like finish, distinct from regular circulation coins. While many SMS quarters are common, those with cameo where the design appears frosted against a mirrored are scarce and more valuable. Deep cameo 1965 quarters in high grades can fetch substantial premiums, sometimes reaching into the thousands. Collectionsdemandas.com. Coinvaluechecker.com. If you're curious about the potential value of your 1965 quarter, consider the following steps. A solid silver edge without a copper stripe may indicate a silver planchet error. A silver quarter weighs approximately 6.25 grams, whereas a clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. Look for anomalies like doubling of design elements or off-center strikes. Coins with minimal wear, strong luster, and no significant scratches or marks are more valuable. For a definitive assessment, consider having your coin graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. The 1965 Washington quarter is more than just a piece of everyday currency, it's a symbol of a pivotal moment in U.S. numismatic history. While most are common, certain errors in high-grade specimens can be quite valuable. So, the next time you come across a 1965 quarter, take a closer look. You might just discover a hidden treasure. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the 1965 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to learn more about coin collecting and rare finds, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your coin discoveries and experiences. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through your change jar, and boom! You find a quarter worth $2.5 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But guess what? It's real. There's a 1990 Washington quarter out there with a jaw-dropping value, and today, we're diving deep into why it's worth so much, how to spot one, and what other valuable 1990 quarters might be hiding in your collection. Now, before we get rolling, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, huge coin enthusiast, once told me, check every quarter, even the ones that look boring. I laughed it off, until one day, he sent me a picture of a rare coin he found in his pocket change. That one coin changed his whole collection game. And ever since, I've been checking every quarter like my life depends on it. Alright, let's break this down. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's talk about how a simple 1990 D quarter could make you a millionaire. First, let's talk about what's so special about this coin. The 1990 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, and in most cases, it's just another ordinary quarter. But there's a legendary error variety that collectors would pay a fortune for. The $2.5 million coin is rumored to be a mule error. That means it was struck using a mismatched die, possibly from another coin denomination. Other valuable versions include off-center strikes, double die errors, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Some collectors also look for full, strong strikes with no wear. Those can fetch serious money, too. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but where did this $2.5 million number come from? Well, let me tell you, there's a record-breaking sale of a rare error quarter, and experts believe that if the right 1990 D mule error coin surfaced today, it could easily hit that number. Alright, time to check your pocket change. Here's what to look for when hunting for this rare coin. It must have a D mint mark, meaning it was made in Denver. If you notice anything strange about the design, wrong obverse and reverse pairing, get it checked. Look closely at the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see any doubling, that's a good sign. If the design is shifted significantly, you've got something special. If the coin feels lighter or heavier than a regular quarter, it might have been struck on a different metal. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Some of these errors are tiny, and you don't want to miss out on a fortune because you were squinting too hard. Okay, let's say you don't find the $2.5 million quarter. Don't worry, because there are plenty of 1990 quarters that are still worth good money. If your quarter is in mint state condition, with no scratches or wear, it could be worth anywhere from $100 to $5,000. The Philadelphia Mint also had some error coins, including double dies and misstrikes. Some of these have sold for over $1,000. These weren't meant for circulation, but if you have one in a high-grade proof set, it could be worth a few $100s. So even if you don't find the jackpot coin, don't overlook the smaller wins, because they add up. Now, let's say you've got a 1990 D quarter that looks promising. Where do you sell it? Big-name auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are your best bet for rare error coins. If your coin isn't a $1 million find but still valuable, listing it on eBay or a numismatic marketplace can get you a good deal. A quick way to get an appraisal and possibly sell your coin. But remember, get a second opinion before selling. Get your coin graded. If you think you have something valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin is worth way more than an ungraded one. The coin collecting world is getting hotter than ever. As more collectors enter the game, rare error coins like this 1990 D quarter will only go up in value. If you're new to collecting, start small, check your change, learn about errors, and who knows? You might be sitting on a future fortune, and let me tell you, this hobby is addicting. I've spent hours going through rolls of quarters, just hoping to find that one gem. And every time I hear about a big discovery, it just fuels the excitement even more. The 1990 D Washington quarter could be worth a life-changing $2.5 million if you find the right error. Look for mule errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and wrong planchet coins. Even regular high-grade 1990 quarters can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Always get your coins checked and graded before selling, so, next time you get a quarter in your change, don't just toss it in a jar, give it a second look. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and drop a comment. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? I'd love to hear your stories. We're talking about something that could change your life. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a quarter, and realizing it's worth a whopping $2.60 million. Sounds insane, right? But guess what? It's real, and it happened with a 1997 D Washington quarter. Now, before you go running to check your coin jar, stick with me because I'm going to break down exactly why this coin is worth so much, how to spot valuable 1997 D quarters, and what other Washington quarters might be hiding serious money. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's talk money. Let me tell you about a guy named Mark. Regular guy, works hard, loves collecting coins as a hobby. One day, Mark was sorting through some loose change when he found a 1997 D quarter that looked different. Something about it caught his eye. Instead of spending it on a soda, he decided to take a closer look. Long story short, Mark took it to an expert, and after some serious inspection, they discovered he was holding a multi-million-dollar rarity. Can you imagine? One moment, it's just pocket change. The next, it's a life-changing jackpot. This brings up the big question: what made Mark's quarter worth $2.60 million? There are a few key reasons why this coin fetched such an insane price. The biggest factor was an ultra-rare mint error. The coin was struck on a foreign planchet, meaning the metal used wasn't the regular copper-nickel blend. It had a goldish tone and was much lighter than a normal quarter. If you ever find a quarter that looks off, weigh it. It could be a jackpot. This quarter was graded MS 67 Plus by PCGS, which means it was in near perfect condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Even a small scratch could drop a coin's worth by thousands. Only one known example of this specific mint error exists, making it a true one-of-a-kind coin. Collectors went wild, and when it hit auction, the bidding war shot it up to $2.6 million. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's one rare error, but what about MY 1997 D quarter? Let's talk about what you need to look for. Not every 1997 D quarter is worth millions, but there are still valuable ones out there. Check both sides of the coin under good lighting. Some errors that can bring serious money include: if the design is not centered, that's a rare mint error. Look for doubled letters or numbers, especially on Liberty and the date. If your quarter looks too light or too heavy, weigh it. A standard quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If it's way off, you might have something special. The closer your coin is to mint condition, the better. If you've got a shiny, uncirculated 1997 D quarter, get it graded. Even regular high-grade quarters can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some proof versions can sell for high prices. Full strike details: the better the details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, the more valuable the coin. If you don't find the $1 million one, don't be discouraged. There are still 1997 quarters selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Sold for over $1,200 because of its flawless condition. Some of these have a noticeable doubling on the date and lettering, worth $500 to $3,000 depending on condition. If you have a proof version with deep cameo contrast, it can be worth $50 to $500. So, keep an eye on your pocket change because there's real money hiding in everyday coins. If you think you have a valuable quarter, here's what you should do: cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Leave it as is. If anything looks off, research it or take it to an expert. Send it to PCGS or NGC for a professional grade. If it's rare, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers can get you top dollar. So, the next time you get a 1997 D Washington quarter, take a good look at it. You might just be holding a fortune. And if you do find something special, don't forget to let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin finds, and turn on notifications so you never miss a jackpot update. Hello and welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Today, we're focusing on the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. You might be surprised to learn that some quarters have fetched prices as high as $2.7 million at auction. Let's explore how certain coins achieve such remarkable values and what makes the 1995 D Washington quarter particularly interesting. An overview: the Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932, featuring the iconic profile of George Washington. In 1995, the Denver Mint produced over 1.1 billion of these quarters. Given this high mintage, most 1995D quarters are common and hold their face value of 25 cents. However, specific factors can elevate their worth significantly. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better preservation. A coin in mint state, MS, condition, especially MS 65 or higher, is more valuable. For instance, a 1995D quarter in MS 65 condition might be worth around $16, while one in MS 67 could fetch higher prices. Minting errors can make a coin rare and desirable. While there are no widely recognized significant errors for the 1995D quarter, it's essential to inspect coins for anomalies like double dies or off-center strikes, which can increase value. Coins from years with low mintage or those marking significant events tend to be more valuable. The 1995D quarter doesn't fall into this category due to its high production numbers. To understand how some quarters reach astronomical values, let's look at a few examples. Only 436,800 were minted, making it highly sought after. In top grades, this coin has fetched over $143,000 at auction. This rare coin from the 18th century recently sold for $1.74 million, showcasing how age, rarity, and condition can combine to create immense value. You might have heard stories about quarters selling for $2.7 million. Such cases are exceptionally rare and typically involve unique circumstances, such as, these are trial coins not intended for circulation. If a prototype quarter were accidentally released and later discovered, its uniqueness could drive its value into the millions. An extraordinary error, like a double denomination, where a coin is struck with designs from two different denominations, could make a coin one of a kind and highly valuable. However, it's crucial to approach such tales with skepticism. Always consult reputable sources or professional coin appraisers when evaluating a coin's potential worth. If you're aiming to increase the value of your 1995D quarter, consider the following. Keep the coin in a protective holder to prevent wear and environmental damage. Having your coin graded by a recognized service can authenticate its condition and potentially increase its market value. Engage with coin collecting communities and stay updated on market trends. Sometimes, previously overlooked varieties gain popularity and value over time. While the standard 1995D mint Mark Washington quarter is common, factors like exceptional condition or unique errors can elevate its value. The stories of quarters selling for millions are rare and often involve extraordinary circumstances. For most collectors, the joy lies in the hunt for these unique pieces and the stories they tell about our history and culture. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the 1995D Washington quarter. If you have any quarters you'd like to know more about or stories to share, leave a comment below.